everyone. We'll just give it just one more tiny minute for more devotees to join. In the meanwhile, I'll just quickly, excuse me, I'll just quickly introduce Gaurav Prabhu. So we're very fortunate to have Prabhu with us today. Today he'll be doing our Bhagavatam story. Um, His Grace Gaurav Prabhu, professionally, he works as a senior software manager at Fidelity Information Systems. Prabhuji joined Krishna consciousness. I remember I was a little kid. I remember when Prabhuji first came in to our Bhakti direction. Since then, Prabhuji is still here. So grateful to still have him here with us. Prabhuji first, it was like late 2018, early 2019 when Prabhuji first started coming to our Bhakti rickshaws, along with Puna Mataji and Raja. Today's chapter is King Ambrish Protected. And I would like to request everyone to please unmute and give Prabhuji a loud Haribol to welcome him.
Haribo.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Gaurav Prabhu. Please accept our humble obeisances. Hare Krishna, over to you.
Thank you, Mahaprem Kirtan Prabhu. So first, I would like to thank every one of you for giving me this opportunity to speak on this story in the Kartik month. And this story is about King Ambrish Protected. So before we start the story, I would start with the Pranam mantra. Namaum Vishnu Padai Krishna Prishtai Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Dandvat Pranam to all of you present here. So we are continuing with our Kartik stories. So today's story is King Ambrish Protected. So this story is about a devotee of Lord Hari, which is Ambrish Maharaj, and a Brahma Rishi, which is Durvasa Muni. So this story is very unique and special. So when the story will progress, you will find out why is it unique and special. So let me first give some introduction here. So about the Brahma Rishi. So Brahma Rishi is basically not an ordinary person. He is the one who has succeeded his physical and psychological limitations and attained the salvation with his meditational power. Brahma Rishis are very, very powerful. So they can do anything with their mystic powers. So they talk very less. And whatever they talk is basically the truth or unchangeable. So whatever they have said, it's basically you cannot change it. So that you will also relate later on, like why is it like a unique and special about unchangeable far from the Brahma Rishi here. So Ambrish Maharaj was a king of entire world, and he was a great devotee of Lord Shriman Narayan. He performed devotional services with his great opulences. So he does his great opulences. So basically, he was using all his senses, all his mind towards the services of the Lord. So that process is called Yukta Viragya. So if one accepts something without attachment and accepts it because it is related to Krishna, one's renunciation is called Yukta Viragya or feasible renunciation. So basically, whatever you have, you always using that for the service of the Lord. That is what Ambrish Maharaj was doing here. So he was using all his services, all his mind, all his senses towards the service of the Lord. And we know like he was a great devotee of Lord Shriman Narayan. Although he had everything, power, wealth, and fame, he considered his opulence temporary. He did not care for it at all, and he knew all this is temporarily and ultimately be destroyed. All these opulence will be destroyed because all this is materialistic. So he engaged all his senses and mind in the service of Lord. So all the time he was remembering Lord Narayan. He constantly engaged for all the services. He used his words in describing the glories of the Lord, his hands in cleansing the Lord's temple, his ear in hearing the words spoken by Lord or about the Lord. He engaged his eyes in seeing the deities of the Lord, Lord's temples and places like dhams like Mathura and Vrindavan. He engaged his sense of touch in touching the bodies of Lord's devotees. So basically, washing their feet, massaging their legs for all the devotees. So he engaged his sense of smell in smelling the fragrance of tulsi offered to the Lord. He engaged his tongue in the tasting the prasadam. So he engaged his legs in walking to the holy places, to the temples of the Lord. His hands, his head in bowing down before the Lord, and all his desires in serving the Lord. So with engaging senses and mind to the service of Lord, it increases attachment for the Lord and detachment from the material desires. So Ambrish Maharaj never desired anything for his own sense gratification. He saw Lord Hari in everyone and treated everyone with much respect, love, and care. So these are some of the great properties or characteristics of a devotee: respect, love, and care that we define here. So he was very respectful, whether he had everything. He was very powerful. He had like a fame, power, wealth, everything, but he was always a humble person, very respectful to all the citizens there, and he was giving love and care to everyone there. Story continues. So King Amrish with his wife basically decided to do the most powerful and sacred Ekashi Dwachi Vrat. So they decided to do the Ekashi Vrat for a whole year. So they were going to do the fast on every Ekashi for that 1 year. Ekashi Vrat is done by not eating anything for the Ekashi day, or at least not eating um, beans and grains on that day. So fasting will be broken on the next day by having prasadam after a regular puja. And here the fast breaking time is very important for the successful completion. If you want to get the spiritual benefits, so you have to break the fast within the fast breaking time. So that is very important. That you will also see later in the story, like how it relates to that fast breaking time. So in this Leela, you will also find like how this fast breaking time plays that role. So King Amrish and his wife, basically when it was a time for the almost time for the completion of the fast, they went to the Yamuna River. They took a dip of holy dip in the Yamuna River, also known as Kalindi, worshipped Lord Hari. They gave lot of donations, like of beautiful cows in huge numbers. They donated clothes. They donated gold ornaments. They gave prasadam to Brahmins. And when all the Brahmins were satisfied, they were almost ready to end their fast. At the time, King Rishi Durvasa appeared, just before they were going to end the fast. So King Ambrish respectfully he received Durvasa Muni and offered him to eat the prasadam there. Durvasa Muni accepted his uh, and he said before he eating the prasadam, he will go to the Yamuna River, take a bath there first, and then come back and eat the prasadam. So Durvasa Muni went to the Yamuna River, and he went on deep sadhana there, the meditation. He started doing the meditation, and he did not come back very soon. You see, like it was also very close for the time for the Ekachi fast breaking time, and Durvasa Muni basically did not come around that time. So he he went there and went to the deep sadhana. On the other side, King Ambrish was continuously waiting for Durvasa Muni so he can feed prasadam to him and also break his fast. So the time for breaking the fast was running out, and King Ambrish was like in a situation like he either could wait for Durvasa Muni and let the Ekachi fast time breaking time go, or he eat and then disrespect to the guest before eating first, eating before the guest. So he was in a very controversial situation here. So either he break the fast and eat, or he respect for the guest and lose all the spiritual benefit of the Ekachi Vrat by not breaking the Vrat in a right time. So usually we all know like these kind of situation come into a daily life, like where you have two great events happening at the same time. So if you pick one, the other will be offended, and if you pick the other side, the first will be offended. So that's basically the limitation of this world. You can either pick one or the other. You cannot make everyone pleased. So you cannot make in this one everyone pleased. So that is the limitation in this current world. Like we cannot be like present at the same time on both sides, right? So that is like many of us usually like we these situations come to us, two important great events at the same time. So you either pick one and offend the others, and our ultimate goal should be like to please the Lord, right? Not to worry about who will be offended more or not. So our ultimate goal should be like to please the Lord here. So King Amrish was at this situation, controversial situation. He asked the Brahmanas there how to deal with this situation, what he can do here. So Brahmanas said, like this is a you can drink some sip of water. By drinking the water, it would consider breaking the fast, and also on the other side, it would not consider eating the food. So you will have both the sides basically completed. So drink some water and break your fast, and also it would not consider you ate something and you disrespected your guest. So with their permissions, Amrish Maharaj drank sip of water to observe the formality of breaking the fast, and he waited for Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni came back to Amrish Maharaj's place, and with his mystic powers, he found out that King Amrish has drank some water, and he drank some water. So the Durvasa Muni got very offended. So he became very angry, and his eyes went red. He started chastising King Ambrish. Hey, you call yourself a devotee of the Lord, you call this and that, but you do not know how to respect the Muni here, how to respect the respectful people here, how to respect your guests here. You ate first before you feeding to me. So that's an offense for me. I'm very offended. So for that offense, you will definitely be punished. So King Ambrish, he he went with his folded hands and asked for forgiveness and explained the situation to Durvasa Muni that it was an Akashi Vrat. He was going to break the fast. The time was running out. So in order to do that, to break the fast in right time, he just drank the water. He did not eat anything. He was still waiting for you to eat first, He is waiting for you to he is waiting for to feed you the prasadam, and then after that he will eat. But Durvasa Muni was not satisfied at all for this, and he was still very angry. He started he he grabbed hair of Ambrish Maharaj, recited some mantras, and then throw those hair to the ground and created a demon from a fire. That demon is called Krucha. He created a Krucha. He was very fiery demon that could basically burn the entire universe at with his power. You can see on the picture Krucha right here, Durvasa Muni and King Ambrish. So he created Krucha to burn King Ambrish and kill him right away. King Ambrish stayed very humble. He did not move an inch, and he meditated on Lord Hari. He said, Lord Hari, I am all yours. If this is, I did not make any mistake here. I am all yours. If this is what meant to be, I am here. So uh, he just surrendered himself to the Lord Hari here. Story continues then. As we know, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always the protector of his devotees. And to protect Amrish Maharaj, he sent his disc, he sent his Sudarshan Chakra to protect King Amrish. Sudarshan Chakra immediately killed and burned Krucha into ashes. So, very important here, he burnt fire into ashes. As you can see, the only Lord can do for his devotee, a fire burnt into ashes. That's the main point here. He did it for the devotee. So he burnt the fire into ashes. So Durvasa Muni was so envious to see all what happened here. He was so envious of Amrish Maharaj and Sudarshan Chakra. Then after killing Krucha, he started following Durvasa Muni to kill him now, because Durvasa Muni offended a devotee and he also has to be punished. So the king Sudarshan Chakra started following to kill him. Durvasa Muni was very frightened and he started running for his life. He ran from worlds to worlds, from to different lokas, to heavenly planets, to save himself, to get some protection. He went to the top of the mountain, thinking that the Sudarshan Chakra will not reach there, but Sudarshan Chakra reached, following him. Then he went to the deep of the ocean, and he saw the Sudarshan Chakra will not reach there. He felt very relaxed there, sat there, and after some time he saw the Sudarshan Chakra still reached there, and he started going to the heavenly planets to get some protection from from the demigods. He went to Brahmalok first. So he went to the Lord Brahma, and asked for his protection. Please protect me from this Sudarshan Chakra. Uh, Lord Brahma said that he cannot protect. It's a Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Shri Hari. He cannot do anything. What you can do is maybe you go to Kailash Parvat, go to Lord Shiva, and ask for protection from him. Durvasa Muni ran to Kailash Parvat, went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva, he asked Lord Shiva, please protect him from Sudarshan Chakra. And Lord Shiva said, although he knows past, present, future, everything, but you have offended a devotee of Lord Hari. So that is the biggest sin you have made. He cannot protect him at all. So whatever he can do is maybe you go to Lord Narayan Hari himself and ask for your forgiveness. He may be help you and he may forgive you there. Story continues. Durvasa Muni went to the spiritual world, went to Lord Hari, and he went to Lord Hari's feet, asked Lord Hari to protect him from the Sudarshan Chakra. Lord Hari at the time he said he is Bhakt Pradhina. Bhakt Pradhina means he is completely under the control of the devotees. And he said what to speak about his own devotees. Even devotees of the devotees are very dear to him. So Lord said, I am always in the core of the heart of my devotee. They always meditate on me, they always pray to me, they are very dear to me. I am in the core of heart of my devotee, and devotees are in the core of my heart. So that is the thing. Devotee, Lord is in the heart of devotee, and devotee is in the heart of Lord. So Durvasa Muni was like very selfish, right? He was thinking because Amrish Maharaj has minimized him, he wanted to destroy him. So when he got envious to him, right? Whenever you envy a devotee, basically Lord is saying you envy him, not the devotee, because devotee lives in the heart of core of the heart of him, and he lives in the core of heart of the devotee. He's saying whatever you did is a great offense. You have offended a devotee of me. I cannot do anything for you. I have no power to save you. I cannot do. Only thing I can do right now is I can tell you, like, if you go back to Amrish Maharaj and you go to his feet, ask for forgiveness. If he is satisfied, he can save you. He can save you, or he can protect you from the Sudarshan Chakra. Uh, Durvasa Muni, he immediately ran back to 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 King Amrish's place. He fell down to, you see on the second picture here, he fell down to King Amrish Maharaj's feet. So King Amrish was still the same humble devotee there. He was still waiting for Durvasa Muni to come back so he can feed him. He can he can give the prasadam to him. Right? He was still the same devotee. So he still like very he felt very embarrassed. He felt very sad that such a great, respected, highly respected rishi is on his feet. He was not like pumped up. Hey, you see what I have done to you, right? You did this to me, and now you are under my feet right here, right? He was not pumped up or anything. He was still the same humble devotee, and he was sad and embarrassed to see him like sitting on his feet. And in the last week Gopal Govind Prabhu gave a class, very nice class, and there was a one point that I noticed. He said like once a devotee is always a devotee. So that line is very basically resemble here, or it fits here. So once a devotee is always a devotee. So King Ambrish was a devotee and he was still the same humble devotee. He said uh, he prayed to Lord Hari. He prayed to Lord Hari, hey Lord, if I have done anything for you, if you are pleased with my services, if my family has pleased you for the services, please, please uh, save King Durvasa from the Sudarshan Chakra. Please make him fear. Let the fear go away of the Sudarshan Chakra from Durvasa Muni. So he prayed to Lord Hari. Sudarshan Chakra stopped following right away and went back to Vaikuntha Dham. So to the Lord Hari. Durvasa Muni was watching all this at the same time, like what is happening, right? He was watching all this, and it was a very dynamic situation. So let's compare uh, compare the two with all due respect, right? One side, the very powerful yogi, he was angry, envious, he wanted to kill the devotee. He was like wanted to use all his power to destroy completely the devotee. And on the other hand, a devotee, basically he wanted to feed the rishi, He want to give everything. He want to even want to lose all his spiritual benefits that he was doing just for saving the life of Durvasa Muni. So he was watching all this. He was watching all this situation. So Durvasa Muni saw this. The Sudarshan Chakra was already left, and he thanked King Ambrish. He praised him. He went back after eating the prasadam, and he started chanting the power of devotional service here. So he knows the power of devotional services is like basically he's always the devotee is always under the protection of Lord himself protect a devotee, where if it is a any kind of calamities, you are like Lord is there to protect his devotees. So this unique and special case also that we see that it was a curse from a, a Brahma Rishi which cannot be unchanged, but it changed here, right? So the devotee got saved here by he got protected by the Lord, and Durvasa Muni started the chanting of power of devotional service. So that's the end of the story, and there are a couple of points that I have learned from this lesson. The power of devotional service, like everything is under the control of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whenever a Vaishnava is offended, offender is punished by the Lord, and no one can protect such a person. So we have seen in this story, the Vasamuni offended a devotee. He tried to save himself. He tried to get protection anywhere in the world, heavenly planets. No one could save him because he offended a devotee of Lord Hari. So Lord Hari was himself protecting the devotee, and he saved his devotee from a fiery demon, Krucha, right? So the point here is never do the Vaishnava Aprad. Engage all your senses in devotional services. This is the way to increase attachment to the Lord and be completely free from all the material desires. So one should engage all his senses most of the time towards the services of the Lord, always thinking about the Lord. Whatever you're doing, just keep the Lord in the middle and always say be thankful. So I know like some of you might understand, but there is a some very Punjabi verse that I when I was like in my young time, very young time, I saw that word from uh, in the Punjabi verses in Gurdwaras or somewhere they said Sukh vele shukrana, dukh vele nivaran, har vele simran. So Sukh vele shukrana mean if you have very happy, always be thankful to the Lord. Dukh vele nivaran. If you have any kind of like sadness or anything, just always remember the Lord. Like chant His name all the time. Har vele simran. All the time simran. All the time keep name. Like take the name of the Lord. Then we see here power of Akashi fast. One can be relieved from all kind of fears, danger, and all calamities. One can get peace and prosperity, and more importantly, becomes great. That's the main point here. With having the Akashi fast, one can become the great devotee of the Lord, and he will under the divine protection always. So Lord Himself will protect that devotee. Ikachi fast breaking time is important. Also, I would like to point that here, right? That's why if you see if that time was not important, this Leela might happen in a different way. So that break time was very important here, that situation. And last but not least here, one can be tested for his bhakti. So if we consider ourselves a devotee, there might be some tests coming in our bhakti that that we must pass basically when we progress. So in this case, King Ambrish, he got passed from his bhakti test and he got immortal, all his citizens, everyone. So that's it from my end. And thank you very much for listening. And back to the host, Mahaprem Kirtan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for Gaurav Prabhu for the wonderful class. It's a classic story to hear always about the pastime of Ambrish Maharaj. There's so many points like you've mentioned the last slide that we can learn. For me personally, one important point I take so much as a priority to myself is Vaishnava Pradha. It is the last thing you want to do. Even we notice that even in chanting the holy name, which is the most important activity of all the angas of devotional service, the 10 offenses are not technique even related to the chanting. The 10 offenses are things that you should not do outside of chanting, and one of them is do not offend any Vaishnavas. And it is something that is of utmost importance for us, and we can learn from this pastime of Ambrish Maharaj. We can look at his humility. Durvasa Muni is so great. We're so thankful we don't have to take darshan of the Durvasa Muni in this age of Kali, right? And even if someone like Durvasa Muni is angry upon us, I mean, of course, all the devotees is the devotee of the Lord, their curses are actually blessings. But still, we can learn from Ambrish Maharaj his humility, his compassion, and still his attitude of forgiveness. Even after Durvasa Muni realizes that no one else can save him other than the devotee, which is also a very important lesson. So thank you so much, Gaurav Prabhu. I'd like to open the floor to everyone. If anybody has any questions, please text me in the chat box or raise your hand. I will call your name. You can take maybe 1-2 questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Gaurav Prabhu, beautiful class.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I felt as if I've been taken to different lokas. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Wonderful comment.
Hare Krishna, thank you. It was very nice indeed.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Gaurav Prabhu. So you put it in the very simplest of the terms. I've heard the Ambrish Maharaj story before, but this is you put it in the very simplest of the terms, and I think you've listed all the lessons I think one could learn from this story. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Yes, Ramchandra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, very nicely presented, Gaurav Prabhu.
Thank you.
All the points are covered nicely. I also want to point out one more thing that devotees may not be aware of, is that after Durvasa Muni was running around to save himself from the Sudarshan Chakra, it took him a year by the time he came back to Ambrish Maharaj. So there was a gap of 1 year. And for that 1 year, Ambrish Maharaj was fasting again, because Durvasa Muni had just run away. He had just broken his fast, and now his guest is gone. So he again, anticipating for him to come back soon, he waited till he comes back. That is the glory of Ambrish Maharaj. He could have easily said that, chalo, bhagya, ab main kha leta hu aaram se baith ke. But his heart was so soft that he could not eat, and he waited. So just wanted to point that out.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yes, a very amazing comment. Even that, again, we can learn humility from Amrisha. And the extent of humility that he had is something that we can all pray to him, that please, even a little bit of what he has, we can aspire to have as well. Does anybody else have any questions? Roji, maybe if I can ask one question. Both log bol sakte ke, okay, Durvasa Muni, he's also a devotee of the Lord. I mean, he was able to travel to Brahmaloka. He was able to go to the Lord Shiva, Lord Narayan, in fact. So he's also a devotee. Somebody they may say, oh, was Durvasa Muni not mature enough, or he did not know that what Ambrish Maharaj's intent was to break the fast, or to just accept a drop of water. Why did unnecessarily Durvasa Muni have to get so angry? So just wanted to ask that.
Sure. So that's why, like, when we did the comparison here, so So he did meditation, his meditation to gain some powers there, right? He was even he chanted the name, but he chanted for gaining the powers, right? And while on the devotee, he was not wanted to gain anything. He was just want to be uh, just remembering the Lord all the time. He just was in pure love, pure devotion to the Lord. So that was the gap. That was the main thing here. Even though he know this happened, this Leela happened also, right? This Leela is supposed to happen this way. So that's also one point I would say, unless someone else here want to add anything, please.
Yeah, Lord Durvasa Muni is always angry because he was born of Lord Shiva's anger also. So those attributes, he carry those attributes.
Thanks for that.
Can you clarify? I don't think Durvasa was a devotee of Lord Hari.
Yes, there may be. That's also true. There's obviously different levels to purity also, but to have the power to go to the abode of Lord Narayan itself is no joke. That also shows Lord Vishnu's mercy upon Durvasa Muni as well. And it, of course, like Madhusida Mataji said, it's also the origin of Durvasa Muni. There's its own story to that, and there's different levels of purity as well, which can be thought of for this question. If anybody has any last question, we'll take it. Otherwise, we'll conclude for the night. It is 9:07.
I thought I asked you a question.
Oh, you're asking me? I thought that was a comment. Or
No.
if Gaurav wants to. For Gaurav, yes. Sorry.
No, I also thought like the Durvasa Muni was not the devotee of Lord Hari. That's what my understanding is as well.
Right. Well, I guess someone said that although the Durvasa was a devotee of Lord or something. That's what I heard.
Can I make a comment here?
Sure.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, because Durvasa Muni is a yogi, but God, Krishna, always picks devotee over any yogis. Because the devotee, he loves devotees, but the yogis, siddhis, these, that, and especially the one who's offender of the devotee, he would never take a side of him. So that's my understanding.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Durvasa was a devotee of Lord Shiva.
Yeah, Lord Shiva, right? But the devotee or no devotee, if you're offending Lord's devotee, among the devotees, even not, he will take the side of not the offender. Because the offender will always have to apologize to the person who he offended. So Durvasa, he may be yogi, siddhi, this and that, but Amrish Maharaj is a pure devotee and he will always take side of a pure devotee against anyone.
And I think that's the reason Lord Shiva said he cannot help, because it's beyond his powers, because it's a Lord Hari.
Yeah, because he made a biggest sin there for offending a devotee of Lord Hari. Yeah.
Ramchandra Prabhu would like to add anything?
Yeah, so all points are correct. But at the same time, we need to understand that even Lord Brahma cannot have direct audience of Lord Vishnu. He sits by the causal ocean, by the banks, and chants the Vishnu Sahasranam, and then the Lord appears and gives darshan. So we must also understand that Durvasa Muni is not just an ordinary yogi or just a, we have to understand that
Yes, Prabhu. That's what I
Prabhuji,
enjoy.
not able to. You all can hear. I'm not able to hear. Just his voice broke off.
That your cooking, she's been blessed by Durvasa Muni, although Radharani doesn't need any blessings. But he's been blessed by Durvasa Muni to be such a wonderful cook. The point we need to understand is this, that, and we experience this in our own lives, that even a devotee of Lord Krishna offends another devotee. So here, through this pastime, the point here that is being made is whether he was a devotee of Krishna or not. He was a devotee of Krishna also, he was devotee of Vishnu also, he was yogi also. The message here is that even devotees sometimes fall into that clutches of Maya, where they end up offending other devotees. And when that happens, although I'm a devotee of Krishna, but I've offended another devotee of Krishna, Krishna will not be able to forgive me. So that's the point. If Durvasa Muni, let's assume on paper he's a devotee of Krishna and he went to Vishnu, would he be forgiven? No. So it has nothing to do whether he was a devotee of Vishnu or not, whether a devotee of Vishnu offends another devotee or not, that is out of question because that happens all the time. But again, the level of Durvasa Muni, Ambarish Maharaj, these are pastimes from which for us to learn. After millions of years, we are still talking about Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj for this reason, because this happened in Satya Yuga. And sitting in Kali Yuga, where this is happening very often by starts with our mind, we very easily offend devotees. So lesson to learn is that be very careful of that. Being puffed up Durvasa Muni was puffed up with his own sadhana, his powers. Devotees get puffed up with their knowledge, with their seniority, with the years of being in devotional service, all these things. So Prabhupada always used to say that a good tree you can tell by the fruit it bears. And the more the fruits, the more the tree will bend. So the more we get knowledge, the more we become senior, we have to bend down like that tree which is full of fruits. Otherwise, this ego will destroy us in our spiritual life.
Ramchandra Prabhu, could you clarify? I think you made a comment about causal ocean. Brahma is in the causal ocean. Meditating.
No, Brahma is not in the causal ocean.
Okay.
He comes by the causal ocean, and that the banks, they start praying, the demigods and Lord Brahma, they call upon the Lord, right? That is how they pray to Lord Vishnu and ask him to please come and appear when they're in trouble. So he doesn't have direct act, he just doesn't go and meet Lord Vishnu. Durvasa Muni was able to do that. Similarly, also, who was that rishi who went and kicked on the chest of
Bhrigu
Vishnu?
Rishi.
Bhrigu Muni.
Bhrigu. Yeah.
Bhrigu Muni could also go and do that. So these are, again, these are all more than the technical part. We must get the essence and gist of these stories, which is Lord Vishnu is a loving father to all, and we have to be very careful. And Gaurav Prabhu also made one more point, that what about my devotee? My devotee's devotee and their devotee are also very dear to me, Krishna says. So we always wear that in our neck as a necklace, that we'll be very careful of that. I've seen in and out devotees. It's one thing to offend, be envy, and it's one thing to express our frustrations, our thoughts, ideas. But when that turns into envy and kapat, and when that turns into anger, when that turns into trying to bring somebody down to try to prove that they are wrong, to speak ill of them behind their back. These signs, a devotee should stay away from such devotees, and one should be careful of not engaging themselves in such acts. Very, very powerful story.
Hare Krishna, thank you. I'd like to just piggyback off of that if yourself or Gaurav Prabhu, either of you two would like to answer it. There's a question that chat, why Durvasa Muni always gets offended? Is he actually getting offended, or is it his controlled anger? Or transcendental anger, or whatever you want to call it?
Yes, he does get offended. And again, he is very powerful and he gets offended easily. But at the same time, he also blesses. And why not? You know, some of the offenses also, if you look, are not minor in other pastimes. But yes, he does. It's definitely not a controlled anger to say, I'll kill you because you just broke the fast. He does get angry, but anger also, in a way that the Lord is not disregarding him. So that also we must understand, because in that case, if he's becoming angry, the Sudarshan Chakra should have come even before he, just after he cursed them. So the Lord is also very merciful to Durvasa Muni. But what we take from this is not that, he can get angry, he's powerful. So I also have the authority, I also have the position, I also have the title, I also have the seniority to just, get angry at any time, any point, anywhere, in front of anybody. No.
Thank you, very well said. Yeah, we should learn from these devotees very much. Just because they have the privilege, they may get angry, or Indra also, like we can take the position of the demigods also, that they're enjoying so much sense gratification. That doesn't mean we get to enjoy that much sense gratification. It's their privilege. They have one side, but then they also have another side where they're also very dear to the Lord and the Lord's devotees. So thank you so much for that. It's 9:18. So with that, we'd like to conclude today's session. Once again, thank you so much, Gaurav Prabhu, for giving us such a wonderful narration of Ambarish Maharaj's story. I'd like to request everyone to please unmute and please give a loud Haribol to Gaurav Prabhu. Haribol! Haribol!
Haribol.
Very nice presentation, Gaurav Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining once again. Just quick announcement for tomorrow. Tomorrow's class will be given by His Grace Ramchandra Prabhu. And the topic, I believe, is of the story of Ranti Dev. So please be sure to attend tomorrow's session as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. Once again, Hare Krishna. Good night.
Thank
गाड़ी अंदर में खा लेता वहीं तो देखा तो
Paso camera daro. Pagite.
देखा है गाड़ी पाछड़ में
Can the host please close the session?